What's up, Planeswalkers? Theox6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Don't forget to head on over to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and helps support the channel. Now today, we're playing a deck that I got completely destroyed against on stream. It was a ton of fun. Definitely check out the VOD if you are interested in seeing that. It might be muted because we were listening to some sweet music. This was played by Mirez. I can't say his name, but apparently he got it from a streamer named Thalonia1. So I will be putting a link to Thalonia's Twitch down in the description. Definitely go and check him out. Apparently he has a Sultai promo Wellspring deck as well. So the point of this deck essentially is to get out and flip Primal Amulet into Primal Wellspring. And then you get dumb numbers of tokens and you win the game. Often combining that with Divine Visitation to have a bunch of stupid large angel tokens. I decided that when I play jank decks, and let me rephrase. When I play off meta decks, let's say, I'm going to play them in casual because ranked, once you hit gold, which is where I am right now, ranked is just nothing but meta decks. That would be good if it weren't for the fact that in casual, apparently it's nothing but freaking Izzet Drakes and Simic Merfolk everywhere. We're still going to play in unranked, but gosh dang it, I really am sick of dealing with those two decks now. I've been practicing this deck for quite a while, tweaking things here and there, because this is not exactly the same version that Simiris did play against me, but it's very close. So essentially the deck aims to have a lot of like card draw and life gain early on, decent number of board wipes. You might see that there are token creators and be like, what, you're a token deck, why are you running board wipes? We're really not a token deck. We're like a weird, like, control-y type deck, so we do want some board wipes. And then we try to get to the late stages of the game. So we do run a single Gideon's Reproach. This is just because super aggressive decks, like Merfolk, for example, can really snowball out of control, and you do want to be able to have some sort of way of combating them early on. 4 Revitalizes are fantastic. They allow us to draw cards and gain life early on in the game, which is very nice. And something I should note, the reason we're playing Gideon's Reproach instead of something like Settle the Wreckage is that it works with Primal Amulet. It costs less, and it puts a charge counter on it, so that's very nice. Revitalize, costing a single white mana, gaining 3 life, and drawing cards is fantastic. Gaea's Blessing essentially is just another way to draw cards, but importantly, it's a good way to put things back into your deck if, for whatever reason, your opponent does get rid of it. So, if you need to use a Cleansing Nova earlier than you would prefer, if your Divine Visitation gets blown up, these are things that you can shovel back in with Gaea's Blessing, and for what it's worth, it at least cantrips, right? You're rarely going to be in a situation where the card is just super dead, because at the very least, it does cycle itself. I should say that if you are playing against real decks and you come up against Izzet Drakes or Golgari midrange, Gaea's Blessing can target your opponent as well. So you force your opponent to put other things that they might want in their graveyard back into the library, shrinking Crackling Drakes, putting Arclight Phoenixes back in their deck. Against Golgari, you can throw things that you don't want them to find back into their deck. Unfortunately, this is a sorcery, so you can't do like shenanigans where they target things with find and then you do it. That said, it does still have that level of versatility, which is very nice. 3 Saproling Migration, you usually want to wait until you can either play it with Primal Amulet or Divine Visitation, but if you do know that you're going against a more aggressive deck, this is totally fine to play as a 2-drop. Essentially, it's just a bear that you block with to kill their 2-drop, essentially. You can also play it 4/6 and have 4 1/1s, also totally fine, but you typically want to play it with Primal Wellspring and or Divine Visitation. Ritual of Rejuvenation is pretty much Revitalize, but with 1 more life. And you might say, like, how is that worth it? Like, you're paying an entire extra mana for 1 more life. Because we're trying to get to the late game. We're trying to get specific pieces out of our deck. So we do want to run as many, essentially, cantrip, like, cycle cards as we can. This helps us get to that point. And as I said, it works really nicely with Primal Amulet. The main win condition with this deck is March of the Multitudes, where you just have a super large number of 1/1 soldiers, or 4/4 angels if you can, by the fact that Primal Amulet is going to give you this huge boost. So that's the main way of the deck. You can also, for what it's worth, just play a normal tokens deck if that's the curve that you get. If you go like Saproling Migration, Spore Swarm, March, that's still totally fine because we are playing Flourish, which I'll get to in a moment. We are playing 3 Settle the Wreckage because we need to deal with aggressive opponents. 3 Spore Swarm is a really nice instant speed thing. It works with Primal Amulet. You can do it instant speed as blockers if you need it, or surprise angels from Divine Visitation, which is always nice. 3 Primal Amulet, like the half of the namesake of the deck. And then there's like a really weird thing. It's like March of the Primal Visitation or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how I'll do it, but yeah. So essentially, you have to cast 4 instants or sorceries when this is on the field, and then you get to flip it, and then each of your instants sorceries essentially can get doubled. It's really nice with Revitalize and Rejuvenation, because if you cast Ritual of Rejuvenation with the Primal Amulet, Primal Wellspring, I should say, then you're gaining 8 life and 2 cards for just 3 mana. Like that's real good. Of course, it works the best with the token generators because it's just like doubles the crap out of them, which is really nice. 3 Cleansing Nova. We need to blow things up. We're not a fast deck by any means, so sometimes, even if you have creatures on the board, it's correct to blow up the world. And that's what Cleansing Nova comes in. Also, for what it's worth, if we don't have our Amulet or our Visitation out, we sometimes will want to destroy artifacts and enchantments. I played against a mono-black discard deck that used Raider's Wake, and they had like 3 of them out, and I was just like slowly dying. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna blow that up. I did still end up losing against that deck because I had like nothing going on. Anyway, 3 Divine Visitation, the other kind of half of the deck, or third of the deck, I suppose. It makes our tokens actually do things. So even if you don't have Primal Amulet out, even if it's not from March of the Multitudes, being able to Divine Visitation into either Saproling Migration or Spore Swarm is really nice. Flower and Flourish. We're running a small number of lands. We're at 22. I actually find that I flood out sometimes, but on 21, the opening hands are just awful. But yeah, with 22 lands and 4 flowers, you're usually going to be fine, as long as you do have, you want typically to have 3 of a combination of lands and flowers in your hand, just to make sure you can hit your land drops. Once you start getting your draw spells, it's a lot easier, but you want to make sure you get that. And then late game, of course, Flourish means that even if you don't have the Divine Visitation, even if you don't have Primal Amulet, you can just turn like a board of 6-ish tokens into a decent threat, right? That's still 18 damage from just a couple cards, right? That's 2 Spore Swarms and a Flourish. That's not a lot. In our mana base, we are running a single Arch of Orazca. You could potentially run Memorial to Glory. I found that I didn't want to have Memorial to Glory. I didn't want too many things to come in tapped, even though we don't play a ton of things early on. I didn't really like the idea of having Memorial to Glory, just because of the fact that we are still running only 22 lands, and with that, I would be more comfortable running more lands, but I figured I would just keep the deck nice and slim and have it like this. Arch of Orazca, we usually get to ascend, but it's just to help against the more controlling decks. So we are going to hop this deck into play, even though it's like nothing but Izzet Drakes and Simic. Merfolk, hopefully we just dodge those matchups. Not because they're necessarily bad. Izzet Drakes can be very bad, and so can Merfolk, depending on how explosive their start is. But I think I've won 50-50 against Merfolk, and I think I've won probably 40%. I think, how many times did I play them? I think I played them 5 times. I think I won 2 of them against Izzet Drakes, which is not terrible. Sure, this is fine. It's a little slow considering we have, quote-unquote, so many lands. But we do have Ritual, which is nice. And we could theoretically just Spore Swarm into March of the Multitudes. Totally acceptable chain of events. Sequence of events. Words are hard. Alright, cool. So we got Revitalize into Ritual of Rejuvenation. Very nice. Alright. Looks like it's probably Izzet Drakes. I'm so happy about it. Yay. Can you feel my joy? So pretty much we just want to cantrip until we can get down Primal Wellspring. Gideon's Reproach, for what it's worth, big enough to kill Drakes. I guess we'll just wait till their turn. Ritual Rejuvenation on their turn. For what it's worth, Gaia's Blessing also does mess with that. Murmuring Mystic, okay, yep, this is the Drakes that plays Mystic, so that's actually going to be harder for us to deal with. Yeah, this is what I meant. We don't need all this land. Flower. We still might flower, to be honest. I'm going to do this first. So we do have a nice buffer. And I do think I will flower just to make it so we're slightly less likely to draw lands next turn. And just gonna plains, why not? So we'll be on 5 next turn. It would be great if we could get Wellspring or Visitation. Izzet doesn't have a great way to deal with those cards once they hit the board. Thankfully, a braid is gone. All right, so we did get the amulet. The problem, of course, is that our opponent probably just has counterspell here. So I'm trying to decide if I want to cast the amulet, knowing that my opponent probably just has counterspell. I think I still do, because I can theoretically just Gaia's Blessing some stuff back into my deck next turn. Wow, okay, they didn't have it. Cool, cool. So we can, I mean, Gideon's Reproach is probably something we're not going to be using. I think I'm fine just Gaia's Blessing most of these things back into our deck. Like, all of these cantrips, I'm totally fine putting back in now that I have Primal Amulet. Because they just draw into each other, which is very nice. No way he counters this, though, right? Yeah. Cleansing Nova, very nice to see. Because if our opponent does get a bit out of hand with his birds, I can just blow it up. This is very nice catch-up mechanism here. I would love it if the first game that we played with this deck, we win. Because it was a ton of fun. I died from, like, okay. Horrifying, but I'm definitely going to go in Cleansing Nova here. Divine Visitation, nice to see. Cleansing Nova. We can Cleansing Nova into a Ritual, but our opponent, their shields are down. They do get to draw, which is fair. And they do ping me. But I'm at 28. My opponent only has 4 cards in hand. I have a Primal Amulet on 2 counters. On 3 counters, I'm going to do this now. Might as well. Plus, I have Divine Visitation in hand with a Spore Swarm. Things are looking good. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This looks like one of those games that maybe, just maybe, we end up winning. Yeah, opponent, I don't think should have put their shields down for that. Goblin Chainwhirler. Okay, we're not playing against Drix. This is the type of thing I expect in casual. To be fair, I'm playing a bunch of rares and mythics, but I'm not playing quote-unquote good cards. Oh, I'll probably just cast Gideon's Reproach here to flip the amulet. I do assume my opponent's going to attack. Search will be on 5 if they decide. Nope, they decide not to. So this is just good blue-red cards. Reasonable. Go into Reproach. Kill a dude, flip an amulet. All's well. Even if they counter it. Dive down. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I still flip my amulet. So next turn, I can March of the Multitudes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would give me 10 4/4s. So this is exactly what we wanted. Transform. I almost had declined. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll take 3, which I am totally fine with. Ooh, another amulet. Oh, the greed. Oh, the greed. These are not legendary. I have to do it. I have to. I have the Spore Swarm. It's fine. Everything's fine. I have to do it, though. We just pass the turn, and everything's fine. We Spore Swarm end of turn, get 6 angels. I would have only gotten, what, 10? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I actually would have gotten 5, so I would have gotten 10. And here I'm getting 6. I'm trading in 4 for some longevity here, alright? I think I'm justified. Enigma Drake? Pfft, please. Who needs Drakes when you have giant angels? Attack me. Do it. Yes. You fool. Yes. Yes. I like doing weird voices. Come on, Yuki. Draw your last pathetic card. Card. My grandfather doesn't have any pathetic cards. My grandfather's deck. My grandfather doesn't have any pathetic cards. Alright, cool. Die. And next turn, we get to have even more. Oh my god. Darn. Didn't let me have it. Alright. If nothing else, we showed a win. And that was important. If nothing else, we showed a win. You can mulligan, drawing a new opening hand with 1 fewer cards. Wait. With 1 fewer card. Yeah, I don't know why I said cards. I think this honestly, great tip. Your life total's resource. I see a lot of new players just like refusing to block or sorry, refusing to not block. This is not a great hand because we don't have an untapped source, but we don't have anything on turn 1, so I think honestly this is fine, because if nothing else we do have double Revitalize. And this should keep us alive for a decent amount of time, plus we're going first. If we're going second, it'd be a little bit harder to justify, just because if our opponent is aggressive, then it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. Red, white, alright. We are going to do this first, because of Revitalize, because we want to make sure we can get it. And, okay, cool. So next turn, I think that we just plains Ritual, and then the turn after, we can either Revitalize or Settle the Wreckage, depending, of course, on what our opponent does. But they seem to be on red-white Boros. Legion's Landing, alright. Seems reasonable. Dawn's Bodyguard. Sure, makes sense. Alright, so we might need Settle the Wreckage, but we're going to be gaining a decent amount of life, so we should be okay. I'm just going to do it now. I could be pretending I have something, but I would just rather see now and figure out what exactly my plans are coming up. So even if I choose not to Settle the Wreckage, I do have Cleansing Nova the following turn, so. Scout Marcher, alrighty. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Probably gonna end up settling the wreckage. Settling the wreckage? I don't know. Ooh, but Primal Amulet. I think I'm actually gonna Primal Amulet into Cleansing Nova. I think it's a better play. It essentially guarantees Cleansing Nova, as long as, of course, my opponent doesn't blow my Primal Amulet. They are going to be able to flip Legion's Landing, for what it's worth. But I technically am only going to take... Okay, I'm taking more damage than I expected. That's fine. It's only taking, what, 9? It's not that bad. Yep, I'm still 15. Opponent only has 3 cards left, and we get to make our opponent sad. For what it's worth, they do get to keep their 1/1, because they can sack Dauntless Bodyguard. Dude, sack the Bodyguard. Okay, cool. Voss, I feel like I've played against this person. I've played so much Magic, I don't know who I've played anymore. It all runs together. Oh yeah, so here's where it gets good. You just cycle these life gain cantrips, and it's just so good. Aurelia, all right, that's a good card. It's fine. Take a little bit of damage. Make a little bit of love and get a little bit down tonight. Play the Ritual. And I can Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, there we go. Settle the Wreckage does only cost 3. So I can Gaia's Blessing here. And I will. I'm just going to put in Revitalize. I guess Cleansing Nova? I don't necessarily need it, but, you know, maybe things get out of hand. Oh, I forgot I was going to transform this. Alright, cool. So this does cost 4 again. But luckily it turns into a land, and we can cast it. Alright, so it looks like they're only going to attack in with these 2, which is fine. I'll still settle them. Might as well. No reason to take the damage if we don't have to. Technically, we're casting Settle twice. I could target myself. So they have 3 cards. We're in a pretty good spot. I'm not gonna lie. Usually what happens is in practice, I face, like, fine decks. I have really good matchups. I do well. And then when it comes to recording, I just, like, get trounced. I'm happy that this time I was having an awful time in practice. I'm not gonna lie. I was not having a great time. And then, like, now we're doing alright. This is good. Is much better than alternative. This is bad accent, probably offending Eastern European viewers. Speaking of Eastern Europe, it's not technically Eastern European. Whatever. My second demographic is still Germany. Big shout outs to Germany. I think it's the United States, Germany. Brazil, Spain, and Italy are all also in the top, but I never remember exactly where. So I can make a decent number. What does it be? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd make 8, or I'd just make 6 with this. That sounds so much better. So I'm just gonna make 6 with this. Yeah. All right. I could also just like draw more cards and try to get the Divine Visitation. You do not. Yeah, you don't have enough for Odanto. God, I love the Conquistador vampires. I absolutely love them. Bunch of dirty monsters. Activate this for white. I could have done it for green, but who cares? And this should give me Ascension. Chronicle of the Godslayer. Good game. Good. Definitely check it out. And now I block and force them to take a little bit of damage. I do assume that my opponent will take the 4. They're at 26. Yep, might as well. Next turn I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So 18 1/1s. Seems decent. 19 1/1s. Yeah, so I'm just gonna make 19 1/1s at the end of the turn. Well, no, it'd be. I can't do basic math, guys. It'd be 20 1/1s. Anakin, he was killing younglings. Also, I just made myself very sad because there was a song called like "Killing Younglings," and it was just like essentially like a house or like dubstep remix or something of Ewan McGregor saying like "Killing Younglings," and it was amazing. And that's like the first time I've ever seen something actually effectively be taken off the internet. I cannot find it anywhere. I cannot find it here nor there. I cannot find it anywhere. I cannot find it in a boat. I cannot find it with a coat. I don't remember. Fucking Dr. Seuss, alright? I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a grown-ass man. Yeah, so I did this for 10, right? Yeah. This is gonna be a lot of damage. Juicy and spicy at the same time. Spicy. I'm not saying that word. Oh, yep. All right. Well, there he goes. Y'all know I had to do it to him. All right. So I've done well so far. I've not played this in ranked at all. Let's hop into ranked, shall we? I immediately regret this. Cthulhu Dagon. I respect the Lovecraftian elements, but the fact that you're playing as Chandra doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, I did. in my stream today, I did a, do I want to do this? Yeah, might as well. I ranked all the profiles, all of the avatars in Arena. I think I'm gonna turn that into an actual video. It was actually funny. I have to like re-listen to it and remember all of my points though. Alright, so if this is the mono red, we should be okay, because we do have Ritual of Rejuvenation into like Cleansing Nova. So we should be okay if this is like, alright, it's Boros. I assume it's Boros and not Jeskai. Yeah, alright, Boros. Sure. Let's see if we can actually face like a normal Boros deck. Another Temple Card, not what we want to see. As I said, you know, we can easily get flooded in this deck. But because we went first, we should be okay to just have Cleansing Nova on turn 5. So take a little bit of damage on turn 3 and 4 here. Put the Temple Garden down tapped, play Cleansing Nova the following turn. Everything should be okay. Could theoretically play Spore Swarm, but I don't think it's necessary. Legion War Boss is decent. down to 21. Next turn we'll be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, I think. Yeah, honestly, I don't think we need to, I don't think we need to play, I don't even want either of those. Yeah, I think we just pass. I think we're just fine with passing here. And then next turn, we Cleansing Nova, wipe away their board. Hopefully they don't play a Phoenix here. Phoenix would be kind of bad for us, but it looks like they might just be on actual Boros Goblins. Could definitely be on Boros Goblins. Gosh, those things are hideous. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine. Technically, we're only dealing with 3 real cards from our opponent, but it's fine with me. It looks like our opponent is also missing a land drop, which is plenty good, but we'll take a little bit of damage. Not too much, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7. Down to 14. Yeah, 14 is a totally fine place to be. Once you get past 10 against red decks, that's where I start to get squeamish, because of the sheer amount of burn. And as you can see, just drawing plenty of lands. But, for what it's worth, plenty of land does mean a decent-ish March of the Multitudes. For what it's worth. I probably will shuffle in Ritual and Cleansing Nova, depending, of course, on what our opponent does. A Johnny. Reasonable. Could get back the Instigator. Wouldn't be too surprised.
I am proud to fight by your side.
I am proud to fight by your side. Yep.
Fight again.
Ooh, Settle the Wreckage. Don't mind if I do. I think I'm gonna play Sunpetal Grove here. I'm gonna Gaia's Blessing. I'm gonna plop those back in the deck and draw a card. Because I might prefer to Spore Swarm. Especially since I drew that Cleansing Nova, I might prefer to Spore Swarm so that I can kill their Ajani. Because I'd like to sweep the leg. Johnny. Hey, Johnny's cool, dude. That's fine.
Be strong.
I'll take 4. Yeah, I'll take 4. Yeah, this is fine. I do hope that my opponent doesn't play another creature. Just pass the turn. You don't need to play another creature. Just pass the turn. Shh, it's okay. Just throw it over to me. Throw it over to good old Big Brother Felix. I don't know. Yes, you fool. You've fallen directly into my trap card. Just throw all of these over here. Yes. Yes. I guess I actually don't need to Cleansing Nova. Hilariously. I can just Settle the Wreckage, I guess. Yeah, seems fine. I love the bird sounds, but no music. Oh wow, you can kind of hear it. But it's like not actual music. War Boss, sure. Yeah, sure. Butter water. I'm going to be giving my opponent land, but that's fine. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can get 10 tokens. No, I can get 7 tokens. Or 8 if I decide to take 2 damage. Potentially. Would love to see a Divine Visitation or even a Primal Wellspring, though. I'll cast this first. I mean, it's fine. It's not great. It's fine. I just realized that Chain Whirler hurts a lot. But I do have Cleansing Nova, so I'm just gonna save. I'm just gonna save what's in my hands, because if I can get a Divine Visitation, or even just a Primal Wellspring, just getting the additional token counter value is nice. So, oh, you know what? This actually might be a Divine Visitation deck. They have been playing a lot of tokens. I wouldn't be terribly surprised. I called it. That said, I am now incredibly scared. So I can make 4 dudes with March of the Multitudes. I don't think it's worth it. And I think I might need to Cleansing Nova Divine Visitation. Ow. Can I get a Wellspring, please? I think that we do Nova the Visitation. Because I don't want to die. Next time we can Gaia's Blessing. I don't know if we even put any of these back in, because we just want to find our Divine Visitation. Please don't play another one. Please stop. Here's the thing: if we lose, it's so much better that it's against another Divine Visitation deck, right? Than to like a real deck. So I'm okay with this. Oh no! Don't do it to me. Not heroic reinforcements. No, not like this. Not like this. All right. We dead. Oh, I love calling them shots. I did this to myself. I gave them the lands. That's fine. If we're gonna die, make it to a similar deck. Mad respect, Cthulhu Dagon. Mad respect. Yeah, no, I'm satisfied with that. Yeah, no, it seems fine. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander and Zaraga. Once again, definitely check out Thelona One's Twitch channel. He's the one who he or she I have no idea. He's the one who gave inspired the deck to Samires, who played it against me on Twitch. I'm gonna have the link in the description down below, as well as links to join my Patreon supporters and the Discord, where I announce when I'm streaming and we play a bunch of games and have a bunch of fun. And they influence me to make these awesome decks that I usually lose to. Anyway. I do hope that you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, go ahead and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment in the comment section down below. And until next time, I will be one.